Hello, and welcome to All Shorts. I'd like to talk about the fact that the world has gone bonkers, and especially Little England. Is it me, or have they got a very short memory? Alexander Boris Johnson has been doing the rounds trying to promote his book, and he's not really been taken into account, although it was quite an interesting interview on the ITV, I have to admit. But Nick Ferrari of the LBC radio, well, that's another kettle of fish. Talk about not asking the right questions and holding them to account for his lies that he's continuing to spread. Anyway, while here, please beat the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. Well, you see, Boris Johnson was sitting there being interviewed by Nick Ferrari on LBC, and he made this statement, all right? When he was asked about how is Brexit going, now he says it's 10 out of 10 for constitutional purity, sovereignty. No, we've actually lost more sovereignty by being outside of the European Union. We still have to abide by their rules, but we have no seat at the table. So yes, we have lost sovereignty. And now we're trading more on WTO rules, World Trade Organization, which also means we've lost sovereignty, because they also apply rules of trading. So no, it's not 10 out of 10 for constitutional purity. That's a lie. And in terms of delivering yet for the country, well, it's obviously going to take time, he said, for us to benefit on its potential, he said. How long has it been? How long did it take to negotiate? And all we're getting now is, being hit and hit and hit with tariffs. And the fact that we can't trade in certain goods. And soon we won't be able to trade with certain services, financial services. Brexit ain't done yet. No. The UK is even having to, they've just done another delay. Delay, because the UK is not in a position. In the case of the fact we're not ready, it's like we're never going to be ready because it's going to hit us hard, especially on imports of foodstuffs into the United Kingdom. And our industry is saying on other delays regarding safety standards and stuff like that. The industry don't know where they are. They don't know where they stand. Things are getting changed at the last minute. And as for Keir Starmer saying make Brexit work, well, that's an oxymoron. There ain't no making something work that puts you in a worse place than you were before. Financially. And constitutionally. It's better being inside of the club and, making the rules together than being outside the club and having to take the rules. Because that's what we are. We are a rule taker now. Yet they were trying to tell us the opposite during the campaign to leave the European Union. This is madness. Plain and simple. Madness. And as such, they now want us to believe all this tripe that's been spread by people like Boris Johnson just because he wants to promote his stupid blooming book, which basically is full of a load of crap stuff. Well, it wasn't me. He also said that, Brexit saved lives, he said. And he denied the fact that, his delays during the pandemic actually took lives. Poor decisions took lives. Matt Hancock, the health secretary at the time, sent all those elderly people back into nursing homes to give them COVID to everybody. Maybe that was a way to reduce the pension cost. Get rid of them. Kill them off with COVID. We won't have to pay him pensions for as long. The quid's in. You know what he said? Boris Johnson. Bodies piled high. Well, he certainly did that. Yeah, he's telling us that his Brexit saved lives because of the vaccine. No, what he did was he delayed the testing. Now, luckily it panned out, but that was a gamble. The European Union did the full testing as expected from any medication. Pharmaceuticals. They did the full testing. The testing's there to protect you. Boris Johnson decided to make a gamble. What if it was a case that this flippin' vaccine will make you all die like 3 days ago? What if that was true? Population would be disappearing by now, wouldn't it? So that was a gamble, gambling with people's lives, and that's what Boris Johnson does for political gain. And he's been keep throwing this back at us and the European Union and saying, oh, we're quite ruining the European Union. You'd all be dead by now. No. Fails to tell you or remind you of the fact that their delays killed lives. Killed lives? Yeah, killed people. Took lives. The man is a flippin' charlatan. And yet people still believe in, and they still want to read his books since it's bloomin' sold out. Already it hasn't even been printed yet. It's not released yet. Pre-orders. And it's sold out. It's a £30 book of 780 pages, including the preface. People have lost their blooming mind if they believe all that tripe. They really have. Just like they have in the United States. Voting for someone like Donald Trump. He can't string a sentence together. Well, he don't breathe between them. It's hard to tell where his beginning starts and the end ends. So yes, Boris Johnson, Alexander Boris Deflect Johnson, he's doing the rounds trying to hoodwink the British people, lying to them about stuff, going all about AUKUS and submarine deals and stuff like that, but forgetting about all the negatives, like there isn't any. All the people's industries, all their businesses and companies that have decided to fold or reduce their services, which means they haven't got enough turnover, so then they end up folding anyway. Bike manufacturing, push bike manufacturers in the UK have been folding left, right and centre because they used to, export to the EU for their push bikes. But because a lot of the products are imported from Japan and China and what have you, it comes under the rules of origin. So the tariffs have been applied to the push bikes, and as such, what happens? Well, prices go up and say, well, you're too expensive now. Priced himself out of the market, and then they fold. Another one folded last week. Raleigh, for instance, is no longer made in the United Kingdom. No, it's made abroad. They just sell them in the UK and have service centres. That's it now. Brexit has depleted our ability to trade with our own goods. Instead, we are trading with other people's goods, which just exports money. Reduces our ability to, have a profit margin. It's clearly more expensive to import goods and resell them because the money ends up abroad, because you bought them from abroad, than actually manufacturing in the United Kingdom. But we don't even have a steel industry now. Now they tell us they're going to be building this new electric furnace for the steel, which can only recycle steel and not virgin steel. We'll be importing that now as well. So money's going abroad. And they're now delayed they reckon it's going to be 2032 now. Which probably means it will be until 2033, 2034. But before the actual come to the fruition of the shutting down of the Port Talbot, the Tata Steelworks, they said it would be 2028. 3,000 jobs lost. The problem is in that area there's no opportunity. It was a steel town. These people they're not going to get new jobs unless they probably move maybe, or start working online or something. I don't know. Their opportunities are lost. That's all they knew. It makes no sense to me As somebody I've been in business all my life, I understand there is profit and loss, and you increase your costs of doing business. Those costs are going somewhere, and they're not necessarily costs that are, well, going to businesses in the United Kingdom. They're being exported because we keep importing too much stuff. We do not make enough stuff. We assemble, and that's all we pretty much do. We used to have copper mines and what have you, and now we're, well, the United Kingdom, the government, what have you, pleading on people to, there's a campaign for people to make sure they recycle their electronic devices and stuff. Send to recycling centres so they can extract the copper, because we ain't got enough copper. It's important that now. This is just crazy. I find it very frustrating because it's greed. Certain individuals are making huge amounts of money at the cost of the manufacturing sector in the United Kingdom. It's just all wrong. There needs to be legislation on exporting money. Those who extract monies out of the United Kingdom, there needs to be a levy on. I know you have exchange rates and stuff like that, but that's not a levy. There needs to be some sort of levy applied to discourage people from exporting money, to encourage industry. And we could start with, okay, we've got a manufacturer of that particular product in the United Kingdom. Let's encourage people to buy from them and discourage them from buying that same product or similar product from overseas. And we'll start there. Encourage manufacturing in the United Kingdom. And it was all very well for Margaret Thatcher at the time to tell us, well, we are a service economy. That's all very well. But when people can't afford services and certain insurances and stuff, they start cutting back. And they do with products, but also they do with the whole industry, etc., etc. They're always the first to get hit. People don't buy houses and always the first to get hit, but also the first to end up back on their feet. We've got to wake up, people. We really have got to wake up. And we've got to impose on the governments and remind them who they work for. Now we've got David Lammy at the moment popping over to China, trying to improve our relationship with China. I understand that, makes sense. But that will include more Chinese products, because that's what they want to do. They want to sell more stuff to us. They'll put some kind of, like for instance, no tariffs on BYD EVs entering the country, which will push out pretty much every EV manufacturer in the United Kingdom, maybe apart from Tesla. They will be able to afford to carry on, because these Chinese cars are heavily subsidised. So we need some sense. Some common sense, but unfortunately common sense is no longer common in England, and especially Westminster. Anyway, what do you say? Please leave it in the comments down below. Was I right? Or am I sort of off my rocker? Anyway, leave it in the comments down below. Blimey, I just find it really frustrating. So anyway, if you want to support the channel, it's up to you, obviously. Please beat the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel, and maybe you can join our Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the link's down below, because the channel could not survive without your help. Because I'd have to do something else. I'd have to try and earn some money somehow. Anyway, it's time for me to go, because I say toodaloo, so toodaloo.